I didn't fall in love with him quickly. It wasn't a sudden moment, no fireworks, no music, no perfect sunset. It was slow. Almost like rain soaking the ground, one drop at a time, until you realize you're drenched. His name was Zion, and he changed the direction of my entire life. Even though I never got to keep him. We met in school. He was the boy everyone noticed, tall, intelligent, sharp eyes, and always a quiet smirk on his lips that made you wonder what he was thinking. And me? I was the girl no one paid attention to, not the topper, not the rebel, not the pretty one. Just invisible. Until Zion looked at me. One glance in the hallway. One smile during assembly. One moment where our eyes met, and my entire universe shifted. I didn't speak to him for months. I watched him from afar, in the library, on the basketball court, during lunch. He was always surrounded by people. And yet somehow, always looked a little alone, and I was always alone, but never surrounded by people. We were both silent. In different ways. The first time he spoke to me, I was shocked. It was after class. I was picking up my books. He walked over, knelt down, and handed me a notebook I hadn't even realized I dropped. Careful, he said. You're always rushing somewhere. I blinked at him. I wanted to say something. Anything. But all I managed was a shaky, thanks. And he just smiled. That smile. It stayed with me for days. After that, things changed. Not suddenly, but steadily. He started sitting closer in class. Asking about assignments. Sharing jokes. He wasn't flirting. He wasn't loud. He was curious. About me. My books. My thoughts. My silences, and slowly I began to open up. Our friendship grew like a secret flower, not flashy. Not wild. Just quietly blooming in corners no one else noticed. Late night texts. Study sessions. Walking to the bus stop together. It wasn't a relationship. But it was more than friendship. It was something unnamed. But deeply felt. I would catch him looking at me when he thought I wasn't watching. And I would pretend not to notice, even though it made my heart race. One day, he asked me what I wanted to be. Happy, I said. He smiled and replied, that's rare. Most people say doctor or engineer. I laughed. I don't think I'm meant to be those things, I said. I just want a life that feels like peace. He looked at me for a long time that day. And said, me too. I didn't know it then. But that moment was the beginning of everything. And also the beginning of the end. We grew closer with every passing day. But we never labeled it. No proposal. No confessions. Just an understanding. He protected me from the world. Stood up when someone mocked me. Made sure I was safe, and in return, I gave him something I had never given anyone else, my trust. But like all things that feel too perfect, it didn't last. Right after our final exams, Zion got news. His family was moving to another country. Canada. His father's job. It wasn't a discussion. It was a decision. I remember his face when he told me. He tried to smile. But his eyes. They looked like a storm about to break. I'll write to you, he said. I'll call. I nodded. Pretended to be brave, but inside I was falling apart. He left a week later. No goodbye kiss. No promises, just a tight hug. And a whispered, I'll come back. And just like that, Zion was gone. The days after he left felt like walking through fog. His absence was a physical thing. I'd reach for my phone. Then remember he wasn't just a message away anymore. He did call. Once a week. Then once a month. Then, silence. I waited. I kept waiting, every morning, hoping to see his name pop up. Every birthday, expecting a message. Every winter, remembering the sound of his laugh in the cold, but he didn't come back. And I stayed. Years passed. I became a woman. Graduated. Got a job. Tried to move on, but a part of me was still 19. Still standing at that bus stop. Waiting for him, I turned down proposals. Said no to men I knew were kind. Because I wasn't ready to let go of him. Of the idea of him, then, life stopped waiting for me. My father fell ill. My mother grew tired. And suddenly, I was no longer a daughter with dreams, I was a responsibility. When the proposal came, a good man, kind, stable, I said yes, not because I was in love, but because I was tired of waiting for someone who may never return. The wedding was quiet. Simple. Like me, and my husband? He was gentle. Understanding, but he wasn't Zion, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that he was marrying a girl who still loved a ghost. Years went by, I learned to smile again. Built a life. Had children. Made a home, but at night. When everyone slept. I would sometimes still check my old email account. The one only Zion had no new messages, just silence. Then one day. 2 decades later, I saw him.